So, bad. I actively don't want this card, I think, like, this is weird because you don't... Usually when you see, like, jank rares, they're, like, you know, things that just do nothing. But this... It's a creature, too. Like, at least the body should be good. But 4/3, Vigilance for 5 mana. I do not want that by any stretch of the imagination. This is a bad card, actually. This is, like, an actively bad card. Maybe it makes the cut sometimes. If you have a Planeswalker, I guess you play it. But if you have a Planeswalker, you know, who cares? I honestly feel like this card's bad. I think I'm going to give this, like, in Limited, it's bad. And it's, maybe it's a good card. I don't even know if it's good and constructed. Like, it seems bad and constructed. Whatever. This is a, I guess, like a C-. I mean, it's a 4/3 Vigilance for 5. It's really not that great. It's good. Yeah, C-, maybe C. It depends. If you have a Planeswalker, I guess it goes up to C+. Tutor for your Planeswalker. Jeru's Renunciation. Jeru is mad that I don't like his card. 1 and a white for an instant common. Tap up to 2 target creatures, and cycling for a single white. I feel like the cycling for a single white is the best part of this card. I'm really not interested in tapping 2 target creatures. But it does cycle for a single white, and I think the cycling for a single white, for me, makes this a C- and not a D. So I'm going to give it a C- because it cycles for white. Dutiful Servants, 3 and a white for a 2/5 zombie. It's a common, and it's got a lot of flavor text. This is definitely not Those Who Serve. Those Who Serve was actually kind of good, and I don't want this. I don't want to be playing this in my deck. 4 mana for a 2/5 is really bad. I mean, I don't like playing, 2/5s for 4. I guess in a pinch you might play this. It's got a zombie tag on it, so it's like, eh. I'm gonna just go ahead and give this a, go from my camera. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a, I guess a C-. It's really on the border of like C- and D. I think it's a pretty bad card. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and give it a C- because it's got the zombie tag. Look for the best parts of things, right? Next up, we've got Gideon's Defeat. This is the first in a cycle. This is a white mana for an instant. It's uncommon. Exile target white creature that's attacking or blocking. If it's a Gideon Planeswalker, you gain 5 life. This is a sideboard card. This is really, like, if your opponent is a white deck, this card is pretty good. But if your opponent's not white and you draw this and you're like, shit, you're not going to be happy. So, it's a good sideboard card, might as well take it, pick 15 or whatever it comes back to you. I think you will actively want to side this in against an opponent who's playing a white deck, but it's not that exciting. Godfarrow's Faithful. So I'm going to give this a sideboard grade. Godfarrow's Faithful. 0/4, 1 white. Human Wizard. At common. Whenever you cast a blue, black, or red spell, you gain 1 life. Okay, so it's an 0/4 for 1, and then you gain a life whenever you cast a blue, black, or red spell. I mean, I think you're probably making your deck worse by putting this in, I have to say. Like, you're hurting your chances of winning by playing this card. This is a D. I guess maybe if you're playing a very controlling deck, you could board it. If you really need to stall and you want an 0/4, but I don't know. Maybe it does block enough in this format to give you some more outs. But if this card winds up being good in the format, I'll be very, very surprised. But whatever. If it's good, if it winds up being a good blocker, then I guess yeah. But I'm gonna give it a D. I don't think you want this at all. Hour of Revelation. 3 white, white, white. For rare sorcery, costs 3 less. If there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield, destroy all non-land permanents. Board wipes. They're good in Limited. I don't really know how often you're going to be able to make it cost 3. I think this is just going to cost 6. But destroy all non-land permanents, if you're in a very controlling deck, then that's pretty great. But I feel like this might be a little too expensive for you to want to put this in your deck. And I really don't know if you're going to get the 10 or more non-land permanents clause off. You know, the best case scenario for there to be 10 or more non-land permanents is for you to have 5 permanents and your opponent to have 5 permanents, or you to have 6 permanents, your opponent has 4 permanents. But I don't. If that's the case, then you're really hurting your board. I'm just gonna go ahead and give this probably something near a C, because board wipes are very strong, especially when you're behind. So I'll give this a C. Mummy Paramount, 1 and a white for a common zombie. It's a 2/2. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, Mummy Paramount gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This is a 2/2 for 2, and it gets bigger. And you're not really missing out by not playing this card. I'm gonna give this card probably more like a C. I think you actively would want this card in a zombie deck. C plus. Oketra's Avenger, 1 and a white for a 3/1 human warrior at common. You may exert it as it attacks. When you do, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to it this turn. So this one's pretty cool. This is very aggressive. But I'm inclined to say that it's probably in your benefit how aggressive this is. You know, if you just want to swing in, you can just say, boom, that guy's indestructible, or, you know, functionally indestructible. So that's pretty cool. I guess it doesn't prevent, you know, like, combat tricks and stuff like that, but I still think this card is gonna be really good when you're the beatdown. I'm gonna go ahead and actually give this one also a C+. I think you're gonna actively be trying to put this card in your deck. A lot of scenarios. Oketra's Last Mercy. 1 white for a rare sorcery. Your life total becomes equal to your starting life total. We're gonna be rich. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. Don't play this card. People are like excited for this Reconstructed. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not even. Disagree. This card's bad, and you are time walking yourself for life gain. Just 2 things you don't want to be doing. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a D. Probably a D, maybe an F. D. We'll give it a D. You know, you're at 1 life and you're getting 19 life. You did it, I guess. Sure, D. Overwhelming Splendor. 6 white for an enchantment or a curse at Mythic. Enchant player. Creatures enchanted player controls lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1. Enchanted player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. Yeah, so this is a one-sided humility. That's pretty good. It costs 8. That's a lot. But I guess maybe in like the top end of like a green ramp deck, and you can like have the ability to splash double white. This is pretty good. This is really hard to evaluate because it does cost so much that realistically you're not going to be casting this a lot. But I think in sealed this is going to be a real threat. Maybe not in limited, maybe not in draft, but in sealed I think you really are scared of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and give this like a C plus, probably. I mean, I don't know. When do you really want to pick this? Okay, maybe if you're already in a green ramp deck, then this is like. If you're already in a green ramp deck, this is like a B plus. But if you're not in a green ramp deck, this card is horrible. So if you're not in a green ramp deck, this is just an F. Decide what the rating is between those two. It's somewhere in there. Sandblast. 2 and a white. Instant, common, 5 to target attacking or blocking creature. It's gonna kill anything, but you know, you do have to really set that up, and that setup cost can get you. I would say that this is probably going to be something around a C minus. It's not great removal, but it's removal that you'll probably play. C minus or C, probably C minus though. Saving Grace, 1 and a white for a enchantment aura. It's an uncommon flash enchant creature you control. When it ETBs, prevent all damage that would be dealt to this turn to you and permanents you control is dealt to enchanted creature instead. Enchanted creature gains +0/+3. This doesn't seem good to me. I guess this saves a creature in the right scenario and makes one of your guys bigger, but I really don't feel like this is worth the mana. Really, I don't really like this card that much at all. I hope I'm not playing a lot of it. I'm gonna give this a C minus, really on the lower end of C minus. Solemnity, 2 and a white for an enchantment at rare. Players can't get counters. Counters can be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. Constructed implications aside, I think this is a pretty great sideboard card. If your opponent is on the black-green -1/-1 counters deck, this is pretty good. If your opponent has one of the artifacts that have brick counters on it, then it's also pretty good. I don't think ordinarily you want to play this in your main deck. But probably I'm just gonna, yeah, this is like a, a question mark grade. This is a real sideboard grade. And even then, you don't really want to be playing this from the sideboard. It's not very good. In Limited, this is probably around an F more than it is a sideboard. Solitary Camel, 2 and a white for a 3/2 common camel. Has lifelink as long as you control a desert or there's a desert in your graveyard. I like this card a lot, and I feel like you're going to be playing it a lot. 3/2 for 3 with lifelink some of the time is completely passable. I'm going to go ahead and give this one probably a C. Yeah, I think a C is a fine grade for this card. 3 lifelink, by the way, is a lot when you're attacking with it. That definitely stacks up. Like, don't underestimate that is really good. Otherwise, 3/2 vanilla for 3. It's an aggressively statted thing, and it's actually not that bad. So C, I think, is fair. Steadfast Sentinel, 3 and a white for a common human cleric. It's got vigilance. It's a 2/3, and it's got eternalize 4 white, which is 6. Not great. Not a great card. Still probably making the cut. 4 is not that far away from 6. So it's like you're playing this, you're getting in a block, and then you're casting it for Eternalize. I kind of like that, and I think 2/3 Vigilance is really, really bad. But it's actually pretty good. Like with the Eternalize, like I don't know if you really want this card, but I think you will play this card, and I think it's gonna be a C- because of that. Steward of Solidarity. 1 and a white for a 2/2 human warrior uncommon. Tap, exert, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token with vigilance. I like this card a lot. Making tokens, every other turn, maybe every turn if you have some good untappers. It's really, really good. You just make this nice big board and like a white-green go wide deck or something like that, and you're gonna discard and also it's just a 2/2 for 2, so it just hits. And then you're like, I really don't want to be making, I really don't want to be stalling out like this. If you're in a stall out situation, sorry. Then you just start making tokens, and that's pretty good. So I like this card a lot. I'm gonna give this a B-, or B- or C+. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a C+. I think B- might be a little generous, but this could easily be a B-. Sun Scourge Champion, 2 and a white for a 2/3. When it for a human wizard uncommon. When it ETBs, you gain life equal to its power, so you get 2 life. But then it's got Eternalize, 2 white, discard a card. 2 white, discard a card is a really good price for the Eternalize. And so when you Eternalize this, is 2 white, discard a card. 4 mana, discard a card. You gain 4 life and you have a 4/4. I like that a lot. I think this is a pretty good card. yeah, I like this card a lot. I'm going to go ahead and give this card a